Some motorcycles are rare. And then there are machines so scarce, you're statistically more likely to be struck by lightning than see one on the road. One of the bikes on this list sold for over $3 million, and almost no one has ever seen it in person. We're not talking about special paint schemes or anniversary badges with thousands produced. We're talking about production runs under 1,000 units, and in some cases, single digits. These are motorcycles built in numbers, so small they've become rolling assets, with values reaching into 6 and even 7 figures. Today, we're counting down 10 of the rarest production motorcycles ever made, ranked by scarcity, significance, and market value. Let's start with number 10, the Honda NR 750. You might know Honda for reliability and mass production, but back in 1992, they decided to flex their engineering muscles in a way no one expected. They produced just 322 examples of this machine. The headline here isn't just the low production number, it's the engine. Honda wanted the valve area of a V8, but the regulations limited them to 4 cylinders. The fix? Oval pistons. It's a piece of engineering so complex that most mechanics would be terrified to open it up. Back in the early 90s, this bike cost roughly $50,000. That was 5 times the price of comparable superbikes. It was a sign that Honda was willing to lose money just to prove a point. Today, that gamble has paid off for collectors. If you can find one, you are looking at a market value comfortably between $100,000 and $150,000. It's an asset that has doubled in value, simply because we will likely never see oval piston technology on the street again. If you see one, you aren't just looking at a bike. You're looking at the pinnacle of 90s excess. Number 9, the MV Agusta 750S America. We've all seen the modern MVs, but the investment lineage really starts here. Produced in 1975, only about 200 of these units ever left the factory. This was a bike built specifically to court the US market, hence the name. It featured a 75 horsepower inline 4 that sounded like nothing else on the road at the time, pure mechanical symphony. But here's the financial reality check. Back in 1975, this bike had a sticker price of roughly $6,500. To put that in perspective, a Honda CB 750 was about $2,000, and a brand new car was around $4,000. It was practically unsellable to the average rider. But today, that initial high cost created scarcity, and scarcity drives value. We are seeing a massive surge in interest for these. A pristine example recently hammered at auction for over $145,000. The floor for a decent runner is right around $100,000. Why the increase? It's the Ferrari factor. It's Italian, it's red, it's rare, and it's mechanically complex. If you spot that distinctive tank shape and the 4 exhaust pipes, take a moment. You're looking at Italian royalty that has outperformed the S&P 500 over the last decade. It's a sign that sometimes buying the most expensive option on the menu pays off in the long run. Number 8, the Hesketh V1000. This is a story of British ambition meeting harsh financial reality. Lord Hesketh, famous for his Formula 1 exploits, wanted to build the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles. The result was the V1000. They only managed to build roughly 150 of these before the company hit financial trouble. The bike was heavy, the gearbox was clunky, and it had significant teething issues. It's a sign that passion alone doesn't build a perfect motorcycle. However, for a collector, those flaws are part of the charm. In terms of money, this is actually an accessible entry point into the world of ultra-rare bikes. You can sometimes find these trading hands for $25,000 to $35,000. While it hasn't skyrocketed like the Italians, it holds its value firmly because it represents a very specific moment in British automotive history that we likely won't see again. It's a niche investment for the brave, but a solid place to park some cash if you want something truly unique. Number 7, the Bimota SB8 R. Bimota has always been about taking a reliable engine and wrapping it in an exotic chassis. In this case, they took the Suzuki TL 1000R engine and built something wild around it. With only 150 units produced, the SB8R utilized a frame that was a hybrid of aluminum and carbon fiber. This was cutting-edge stuff for the turn of the millennium. The ride was stiff, uncompromising, and absolutely focused on the track. It's rare because Bimota was a boutique manufacturer that lived on the edge of insolvency. Financially, this is another sleeper. While new, they were quite pricey. Today, you can pick up a decent example for around $15,000 to $20,000. It hasn't hit the stratosphere yet, which might make it a smart buy for a long-term hold. Seeing one of these is a reminder of a time when Italian frame geometry was light years ahead of the competition. And currently, it's a bargain for the exclusivity you get. Number 6, the MV Agusta F4cc. This bike is personal. The CC stands for Claudio Castiglione, the boss of MV Agusta. He wanted to build a bike for himself, with no budget cap and no compromises. They limited the run to just 100 units. The engine was bored out to 1078 cc, pushing 200 horsepower, a massive number for its time. Every bolt that could be titanium was titanium. The bodywork was carbon fiber. When this launched in 2006, the price tag was a staggering $120,000. It came with a matching Trussardi jacket and a Girard-Perregaux watch worth nearly 20 grand on its own. While they took a depreciation hit initially, as many new luxury items do, prices have stabilized. You'll see them listed now between $60,000 and $80,000. But here is the key. Finding one with the original watch and jacket is essential for maximum value. It's a sign of what happens when a manufacturer's passion project gets the green light. Number 5, the MV Agusta Superveloce 1000 AGO. Yes, another MV, but the rarity here is tied to a legend. This bike pays tribute to Giacomo Agostini, the greatest racer of all time. They made exactly 83 units, one for every year of Agostini's life at the time of production. This isn't just a styling exercise. It includes parts that look like they came straight off a MotoGP grid, including those aerodynamic wings. It's a beautiful blend of modern tech and retro aesthetic. The initial asking price was roughly 35,000 euro, but good luck getting one for that. On the secondary market, flippers and collectors are already asking significant premiums, often pushing towards $60,000 or more. It's a piece of memorabilia that happens to do 180 miles per hour, and because the run is so short, the value is almost guaranteed to climb. Number 4, the Norton F1 Sport. If you think the oval pistons on the Honda were strange, let's talk about rotary engines. Norton had a long history with the Wankel rotary engine, and the F1 Sport was the culmination of that. Produced just before Norton's financial collapse in the early 90s, only 66 of these were made. The rotary engine is smooth, but runs hot, and it sounds like a swarm of angry bees. It was a replica of their race bike, and it handled beautifully. But here is the financial reality check. Reliability was poor. However, scarcity overrides reliability in the collector market. These bikes rarely come up for sale, but when they do, in the UK especially, they command prices upwards of £40,000. That's over $50,000. Spotting an F1 Sport is a sign you're in the presence of a very brave owner, and a wealthy one who isn't afraid of complex maintenance bills. Number 3, the Confederate X 123 Hellcat. This is American muscle deconstructed. Confederate, now known as Combat Motors, builds bikes that look like they were carved out of a solid block of aluminum. There are only 65 examples of the X123 generation. These bikes are polarizing. They vibrate, they are loud, and they are incredibly torquey. It's not about touring or comfort, it's about rolling art. The engineering is exposed for everyone to see, the swing arm pivot, the transmission cases, everything is structural and visual. When new, these were roughly $45,000 to $50,000. Unlike mass-produced cruisers that drop in value the moment you leave the lot, Hellcats tend to hold their ground or appreciate slightly, generally trading in the $45,000 to $60,000 range depending on customization. It's rare because it's a niche within a niche. If you see one, you know the rider isn't interested in blending in or checking their bank account balance. Number 2, the Vincent Black Lightning. We are stepping back to the golden age. Between 1948 and 1952, this was the fastest production motorcycle in the world. Factory records show only 33 complete Black Lightnings were ever built. And of those 33, experts believe only about 19 survive in original condition today. This was the bike that Rolly Free rode in his bathing suit to break the speed record at Bonneville. It had magnesium components, special tires, and a tuned engine that was light years ahead of anything else on the road. If you want to talk about investment grade, this is the gold standard. In 2018, a Black Lightning set a world record at Bonham's auction, selling for $929,000. That is nearly $1 million for a motorcycle. Seeing one of these isn't just rare, it's a religious experience for motorcycle historians. The values reflect that, making it one of the most valuable two-wheeled assets on the planet. Number 1, the ECOS ES1 Superbike. If we are talking about the ultimate unicorn and the ultimate flex of wealth, this is it. Production was strictly limited to 10 units. This bike was designed with help from F1 engineers. It features a frameless design where the swing arm pivots on the gearbox, carbon fiber, everything, and a claimed top speed of around 400 kilometers per hour. The price tag? It was announced at over $3 million. That is not a typo. It's less of a motorcycle and more of a physics experiment that you can ride. Whether any have actually changed hands on the secondary market is a mystery, simply because the owners exist in a financial stratosphere most of us will never see. The likelihood of seeing one on the street is effectively zero. It's the ultimate sign of exclusivity, a machine built without limits for the very few who could afford to ask what if and pay millions for the answer. Real advancement in appreciating motorcycles comes from staying curious, humble, and willing to learn the history and the economics even years into the hobby. Spotting these machines in a museum or a private collection is an opportunity to study the engineering choices of the past and the market trends of the future. There's no shame in admitting you've never heard of some of these, or that the prices seem insane. The best enthusiasts keep studying the details and never stop learning. Ride safe.